Welcome inside another edition of TinChattin, everyone. Back under the lights alongside my main man, Mike Maz. My name is Peter Hood, and Mike, a lot to talk about this week. Maybe the busiest week of TinChattin we've had, and we're going to try to get into all of it. Since the last time you and I spoke, the Tin Caps nearly threw a no-hitter. The guy who contributed to that near no-hitter was called up to High A. The Tin Caps first-round pick, 2019 first-round pick, C.J. Abrams, makes his debut here in Fort Wayne, and we'll get to all of that later in the segment. But first and foremost, Mike, these boys are playing good baseball right now. Winners of 7 of their last 8 after tonight's win. Thursday night's win over the Dayton Dragons, 9 of their last 12, and they're playing some of their best baseball of the season and making things interesting as they get down to the home stretch here with the playoff picture in mind.
Yeah, when you stop and think, Peter, that as we are filming this little get-together, there are 24 games left on the schedule. And the Tin Caps, yeah, they won 9 of their last 12. They have played 6 of their 7 games on this latest homestand. They've won 5 of those 6. The only blemish was getting shellacked 3 nights ago. West Michigan on getaway day shut the Tin Caps out 8-0. Fort Wayne only got 2 base hits. But outside of that, some good wins, some good performances by a lot of people. And it's better late than never. After the win on Thursday night, the Tin Caps have tied Dayton in the standings in the second half at 20 and 26. They are 2 games behind Lansing at 22 and 24. The key team is South Bend. South Bend started the night on Thursday, and South Bend won and Fort Wayne won. It's a 5-game differential, and with 24 games to play. As you and I talked about before we set up shop, a key weekend this weekend. We finished the series with Dayton tonight being Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Monday night in South Bend. Now, the Cubs have been playing some good baseball. They recently had an 8-game winning streak snapped. But right now they hold the second spot, the wild card spot in the East. And the Tin Caps get 3 cracks at them at their place Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And the Cubs have to come back to Fort Wayne the last week of the season for 3. So 6 of your 24 games left are against South Bend. You still have 4 games left against Dayton. You have 4 games left at home against Bowling Green. By the way, 3 of the 4 games against Dayton, but one of those 4 being played Friday. 3 games at Dayton, 4 games at home against Bowling Green. Lansing we play 6 times, 3 there, 3 here. So the teams that we have to catch, we play, we being the Tin Caps. And there is that hope, there is that goal that they could still somehow pull the rabbit out of the hat and make the playoffs for the 9th time in 11 years. It's still a mathematical possibility. And the way the guys are playing right now, that is slowly, still a ways to go, but slowly becoming a possibility and perhaps a probability.
Yeah, there's no doubt the Tin Caps have put themselves squarely back into the playoff picture, but if they're going to make a run at it, Mike, they're going to have to do it without Joey Cantillo, and there's no doubt that that's going to hurt. And, you know, it was only a matter of time. It wasn't if, it was always when, because Mike, the guy, I mean, I don't know what superlatives, what words you could use to describe the summer that he's had. I guess the best statistic I could throw out there, and there's a ton of them regarding Joey Cantillo and his time in a Tin Cap uniform, 128 strikeouts in 98 innings. I mean, he was just phenomenal to watch here at Parkview Field. And Mike, I guess your thoughts on just the few months we had with Cantillo, what he was able to accomplish.
It goes to show you, Peter, that we, not only as members of the media, but we as fans, we have to relish what we see when these players come to Fort Wayne. And when you look at Joey Cantillo, 19 years of age, out of Kailua, Hawaii, when he was promoted to Lake Elsinore on Thursday, he led the league, you mentioned, with 128 strikeouts. He led the league in earned run average under 2. He was either first or second in wins. In fact, my colleague John Nolan and Evan Stockton, they did some research. He was either first and second in the league in probably a dozen pitching categories. One guy, either first or second in a boatload of pitching categories. So, he's learning how to pitch. He somehow was able to, one of the things that he changed is he stopped pitching from the windup. He went right to the stretch. I think that helped him. He's got a bulldog mentality. He's got a mental outlook that all professional baseball players should have. Now, I don't want to put him at the top of the mountain because he's still got a lot of work to do. He's at High A, Lake Elsinore now, still has to go Double A, Triple A before hopefully getting all the way to Petco Park and the Padres themselves. But the future for Joey is very, very bright.
And obviously a very well-deserved promotion with Joey. So you lose a really talented guy in Cantillo, but you bring in a really talented guy in C.J. Abrams. And Mike, obviously, you alluded to him a little bit earlier, makes his TinCaps debut earlier this week after just tearing up his first couple of months as a professional baseball player down in Arizona. And he kind of picked up right where he left off here in Fort Wayne. I guess, Mike, you've only had a couple games to watch him, but what sticks out to you about the 6th overall pick in this year's draft for the Padres?
The first thing that comes to my mind is the phrase, quick as a cat. I mean, I'm going to throw out a couple of names that some of our older viewers may know. I think of Lou Brock, a Hall of Famer who played with the Cubs and the Cardinals. I think of Maury Wills when he played for the Dodgers. I think of Ricky Henderson when he played primarily for the Oakland A's. Blazing speed and quickness. And Peter, there is a difference between being quick and being a quick base runner and knowing how to be a base runner. You can be quick and go from first to home plate to first or first to third, but the ability to steal bases, it's an art. Sometimes it's a lost art. And I think C.J. Abrams has that capability. C.J. Abrams, though it's early, seems to be an exciting player. And I can't wait for the last 24 games to be played here in Fort Wayne and see how he does.
Yeah, so we'll see what Abrams has in store for the rest of the season, and then maybe he'll be back here in 2020. For now, though, Justin Prince had a chance to catch up with CJ after his TinCaps debut earlier this week.
It's a blessing, I'm happy to be out here. It's a new atmosphere. It's a lot different than the rookie ball, but I'm looking forward to getting started.
What is it that you think you bring to the TinCaps and you can bring to this team?
Exciting player, use my speed to my advantage in all parts of my game and hit the ball, make contact, and get on base.
What's this experience been like for you from rookie ball to low A for, I know just one day here so far, but what's the experience been like?
I mean, I was just enjoying it, going with it. It's a lot different than high school, of course. It's playing every day. You got to get used to playing every day. The body gets fatigued, but once you get in the swing of things, it's not too bad after all.
What are you hoping to accomplish the last month of the season here? What are your hopes for yourself?
Become a better baseball player, help the team get wins, and have fun.
So, Mike, again, C.J. Abrams, you got him for the rest of the season, you would assume, and hopefully part of 2020, but we'll worry about that at a later date. Right now, it's all eyes on this last month of the season, and you mentioned it earlier. They've put themselves in a position with the way they've played the last week or so. You're playing the teams that you got to beat to move up in the standings. They got a shot, and that's all you can ask for.
There's hope. And wherever there's hope, there's a chance. And that's all you ask for is a chance. Give it your best shot. And if you don't make it, as long as you give it your best shot, that's all you can do. But we could have a fun final 3.5 weeks in this 2019 Midwest League season.
And hopefully we do have a fun final few weeks of baseball here at Parkview Field. Mike and I will have fun every week here on TinChattin. Mike, always appreciate your time, and we'll do it again next week, my friend.
I look forward to it.
He's Mike Moss, play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne TinCaps. My name is Peter Hood. Appreciate you making us a part of your Friday night, and invite you to stick around because there's much more coming up in the locker room right after these messages.